I want to tell you the story about how we got the name Gary and Manuel. And I put the "and" in there because at the beginning, 35 years, 2 days. We were partner 35 years, 2 days. Long partnership. We had a anthracene in our name, Gary and Manuel. At the beginning, Gary was 21 and I was 37. And I know he just looked at me like Grandpa. I think he even called me Grandpa a few times. We decided to open a salon, and our first decision was, what was the name of it going to be? So we agreed, and over the years we disagreed on stuff, and we'd always argue and negotiate our points. But we agreed that it had to be our name, not Pink and Pretty or something like that, but our name. And he said to me, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think it should be Manuel and Gary." A very sexy, a European feel. And he said, "Oh, that sounds stupid." You know how Gary would say that. "Oh, that sounds stupid." And he said, "I think it should be Gary and Manuel." So we went back and forth and we tabled it and we came back to it. And finally, I said, "Let's take my father-in-law to dinner and run it by him." Well, my father-in-law happened to be a 5-time congressman, US congressman from Seattle, Washington. So we take him to dinner, and we had a beautiful dinner, and we were just talking about all our plans and our what it was going to look like, and then we said, "Joel," and his name is Joel Pritchard. Some of you might remember who he is. "Joel, what do you think? We're really debating on this name." And he said, "Well, let me hear. What are you thinking?" And I started first, and I think, Manuel and Gary, I think that just sounds so sexy and European, and it'll stick in people's mind. "Yeah." And Gary said, "I don't think it has any sound to it at all. I don't think it doesn't work. I think it should be Gary and Manuel." And Joel thought for a second. I thought, "Oh man, this is going to be Manuel and Gary. That's my father-in-law over there." And he said, "Well, I kind of like Manuel and Gary. I see your point, Manuel. But I think that Gary and Manuel has that lilt. It has that, it just seems to fit together better." So subsequently, the dirty trick here is I've been called Gary at least 200,000 times in the last 30 years. And I'm always very gracious. You know, they'd say, "Oh, Gary, I love your salon so much." Or, "Oh, Gary, your people are so good. How do you do it?" And I just graciously let them keep calling me Gary. To this day, I mean, I think just in the last couple of days, people have come up on the street and hugged my wife and say, "I'm so sorry for your husband passing." And she says, "Oh, that's his business partner." So I actually believe that when people die, they become angels. And Gary is flying around us right now. And every time somebody calls me Gary, he goes, "Yeah."